back to Whisky Whims with me, Stuart. Today, similar scenario to last week's review. This is a Bruichladdich that was given to me by Stevie. It's been sitting for a while next to my barrel, and for some reason the tin's got a little bit rusty, so that's why it's on a paper towel. So that's the tin there. A lot of writing on it that I'm not going to read. It's Port Charlotte 2007 CC01. The bottle itself, kind of transparent look to it, bottled at 57.8% ABV, non-chill filtered, no added colouring, and it's been matured in cognac casks. When it first came out, I believe it was around about £68. Just try to see if there's any other information on there other than it being heavily peated. We'll get down to the nose, the finish, the palate, sorry, and the finish, and see if it's a Whisky Win or a Whisky Bin. So straight to the nose. Yeah, there's like heather honey there. It's a little bit tart in the nose. There's also a lot of peat, I feel. When I was doing some research for this, looking online and stuff, I came across a couple of reviews and people saying that they didn't think that the peat was that evident in the nose. But when I first opened this up and had it in the glass when I was doing some notes a couple of nights ago and that, I felt like the peat is very evident. I feel like it's the first thing I can smell, and normally I'm quite blind to peat in the nose. I normally pick it up in the palate, but on this I feel like it's there straight away. And this has been in the glass for some time as well. There's some alcoholic fumes there, but if you sniff the glass right and not right straight, put your nose straight in, you can get past that. And yeah, there's like a lot of pastry notes, a lot of kind of fruity pastry. There's pineapple, there's peach cheese, there's lemon. Kind of reminiscence of like an Octomore, but not as heavily peated, obviously. Just with that fruit burst, that fruit explosion I'm sure I had it in the Octomore that I reviewed a while back. It's a little funky on the nose, and I feel like I'm getting mashed potatoes, which is very strange. But yeah, there's something funky on that nose there. Quite an interesting nose, quite varied. And I'm definitely enjoying it. The palate. Yeah. Whew. Way more peat. Definitely loads of peat. It's earthy. There's this kind of briny element to it as well. Heavily briny. I just realised the cat's we've got little LED strips under our kind of counters in the kitchen. I just realised the cat's managed to pull a bit of it off, so that's going to irritate me for the rest of this video. Yeah, it's briny. There's like a kind of smoked seaside element to it. It's a lot more coastal in the palate than it was in the nose. I didn't really get the coastal element in the palate, but I'm getting the nose, but I'm getting it in the palate. There's a little bit of TCP as well. I feel like that could have been in the nose. I could have said that in the nose, but yeah, there's TCP. There's like Fisherman's Friends or Fisherman's Friend. Those little kind of eucalyptus mint, really strong mints that you get. Perfect. They're just they're great. There's maybe some. I'm trying to think. There is a little bit of a sweetness. What is that? It's maybe just like a kind of caramelization of something, some sort of caramelization. There's camphor as well, and quite a bit of like vegetal elements to the palate. The finish, yeah, the finish is long. It's peaty. It's creamy. There's some tobacco and yeah, creamy tobacco, and there's like smoked pear on the finish as well. Just tying it all together quite nicely. It's definitely a dram that you need to be in a mood for peat, because the peat is strong, very strong, I feel. I've just got back on the peat wagon, and if I had reviewed this maybe a couple months ago, I might not be enjoying it as much because it is heavily peated. I'm not sure what the ppm difference is between Octomore. And it's a long time since I've had an Octomore, but I feel like this is just as strong. But maybe that's just because I'm building my peak tolerance back up. Anyway, we'll get down to a review, see if it's a whiskey win or a whiskey bin. If you're new here, how I rate my whiskies on 3 factors. Would I buy it again? Do I think it's worth it? And would I recommend it? So I didn't buy this in the first place, but would I buy it again? No, I don't think I would. It's nice enough, and it's good if you're on that peat train and you want a bit of peat. But yeah, I think there's other peat options out there for me that I would like to buy over this. Do I think it's worth it? £68. I don't know. I'm struggling because it's 8-year-old. £68. You can maybe say it's not too bad, but I don't know. I just feel like you can get cheaper peated alternatives. Nothing's coming in mind, obviously, but I don't know. I just feel, I feel it's a bit pricey for what it is. Like, it's good. There's a lot of good flavours there. It is complex, but I much preferred the Bere Barley from last week's review, and on comparison to that, it doesn't really stand up to it in quality. I feel that's just my own personal opinion. So I wouldn't buy it again. I don't really think it's worth it. And would I recommend it? Yeah, if you're on a bit of a peat journey, if you want to try something a little different, a little heavily peated from the likes of Bruichladdich, then yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I don't think it's a terrible whiskey, do not get me wrong. I just think it's maybe a little bit, for when it came out, a little bit pricey, and I'm not really agreeing with it, with that price point, the value for money there. So yeah, it's unfortunate on this occasion it is a whiskey bin, but that, like I said, that doesn't mean it's a bad whiskey. It's just a whiskey bin. So thanks for watching. I've been Stuart, this has been Whisky Wins. I'll see you later.